Welcome to Ladies Who List. If you've ever wondered what really goes on behind the scenes in real estate, beyond the glitz and glamour of selling sunset and the drama of $1 million listing, you're in the right place. We're diving deep into the questions you've always had and educating you on how to be a more innovative and more successful buyer and seller, giving you the truth behind buying, selling, and everything in between. No fluff, no filters, just straight talk. So before we get into this, we always do a would you rather question.
Okay.
So I had my assistant randomly text me one that I have not read before. Here we go.
I'm ready.
I'm scared. Would you rather feel like you're wearing wet socks or always feel like you have popcorn kernels stuck in your teeth? All right. And today, once again, we have Becky Colby. Welcome back.
Thank you for having me again.
Of course. Today, we are going to be talking about Chicago's most expensive homes and most expensive neighborhoods.
I love expensive things, so I can't wait to have this conversation.
That's why I gave this one to you, Becky. So I thought this was so interesting. I looked up a list of the top 20 most expensive cities in the U.S. I was curious how Chicago landed.
Right?
What would you think?
I would put us in the top 10 is my guess without looking at any information. Am I close?
Yeah, you are actually. So we did land at number 11, but I thought it would be number, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Absolutely. I can imagine who's ahead of us, but how did we get to 11?
There were several cities in California, Miami, New York, of course. So yeah, we landed at 11.
My God, you think of our beautiful lake, and between the city of Chicago all the way down to like Kenilworth, not even counting the homes in the western suburbs. That actually surprises me.
Yeah. But if we had nice weather, it would be number 1.
We totally
all
agree with that.
We all have to agree on that, no matter where you're from. Okay, so we are going to start with the 3 most expensive neighborhoods in the city. Keep in mind, one thing I want to caveat is we are talking about MLS data only. So we pulled this from the MLS. There are a lot of sales that happen off the MLS and our private listings. Those are not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about MLS data only.
Great. And like the median price.
Correct.
Median sales price.
Correct. We're talking about median sales price. Number 1, not surprising, Lincoln Park. With a median sales price of $765,000.
I'm actually surprised that it's not higher in Lincoln Park.
But keep in mind, this is mixed of studio condos and high rises.
That's true.
All the
you
way
have DePaul campus included.
To our multi-million-dollar
Totally
homes.
fair. So I think we were both surprised at what came in at number 2.
Very surprised.
But again, it's the average or the median sales price per
Correct.
the MLS. So Wicker Park, Westtown, Bucktown came in at $675,000. I understand why it draws a demand because like there's such an urban, vibrant neighborhood and it's growing. But
I was very surprised as well.
I was shocked too.
I was absolutely surprised. And I had to think about this one. So keep in mind, on the MLS, it's called Westtown. And
Right.
it does encompass Bucktown, Wicker. And Westtown.
Yeah, but we were both surprised that North Center wasn't a front runner.
Yeah, I think it has to do because it's encompassing all the data. Again,
Of
condos. And there are a lot of multi-million-dollar homes in Bucktown. There's a lot of extra wide lots, double lots, triple lots. So that was surprising, but that was number 2.
Yeah. You want to share number 3?
All right. Number 3 was the Gold Coast.
My favorite, my home.
That one came in at a median sales price of $548,000. You know, and I actually looked into this because it's interesting why the sales prices in the Gold Coast are a little bit higher. I was curious because I'm a data nerd. So I did look into this and I was wondering if it was the average age being a little bit older in the Gold Coast because a lot of empty nesters tend to move back and live in the Gold Coast. There was a pretty large age difference that I did find online. And the average age was 44 compared to 30-something in other neighborhoods.
So that proves to what you thought, right? It's like a combination of who is living there or who's buying and investing in those units and may or may not have properties elsewhere or
Exactly.
snowbirds living somewhere else.
Okay, so now the fun part. Let's actually look at some of the most expensive single family homes in the city in the last 10 years. So the first one, again, not surprising,
Right.
and this sale actually happened within this past year, is one in Lincoln Park at $15,250,000.
That house was 25,000 square feet. It was 177 by 149 lot size, which is
Let's actually stop there. A standard lot in Chicago is 25 by 125. So that's over 7 lots put together, which is crazy. People die to even have a double lot, 2 lots next to each other.
It's you would die if you could find a double lot, like you just said.
That's my dream.
So this home had 6 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, which we were kind of surprised at the.
I mean,
What are they doing with 11 bathrooms?
I am more surprised by the 6 bedrooms because even on a standard lot with 4,200 square feet, we usually see 5 to 6 bedrooms.
Yeah, I was shocked by that. But of course, it had just incredible details, like 1,000-pound custom entry doors and Italian plastered ceilings. So it's far more than just what's on the outside. It's what's on the inside too.
Let's talk about the most expensive condo in the city in the last 10 years.
Want me to do this? Well, we were kind of thrown off by Ken Griffin's purchase in 2017 because he bought 4 units at number 9, which is 9 West Walton, for $58,750,000. That sort of, we can't ignore that because it happened, but obviously it's a massive unit. What he purchased was the penthouse, the 35th, 36th, and 37th floors of raw space.
So he was planning on combining all these units.
Correct.
And
he later sold 2 of the units for $19 million in 2024. But we can't not mention it because that is an insane statistic in the city of Chicago. Let's talk about the most expensive condo.
Single condo, because that was 4 condos.
Correct.
But that was a pretty big purchase.
We can't not talk about that. Exactly. All right. Do you want to introduce that? Let's talk about the most expensive condo per the MLS in 2025 in the Gold Coast.
So that was Penthouse 23 that closed March of 2025 for $10,125,000. This was a full floor penthouse, originally purchased as raw space, and the owners took 2 years to design and custom build this. Very impressive unit.
Let's talk about the custom details in this penthouse. It was a 4-bed, 3.5 bath with a 3-car garage. It had 3 outdoor terraces, which is such a rare find. I know that I remember seeing the unit. It's every different view of the city. So it was spectacular. It was over 60 feet of the entire south exposure of the city with built-in heat lamps, gas fire pit, and then just off the kitchen was a cozy family room. That's where you had city and lake views. And then the primary bath had floor-to-ceiling windows and then direct access to the 3rd terrace. So it certainly doesn't even sound like a condo. It sounds like a home.
That sounds amazing.
Incredible.
That's like a mansion in the sky.
Incredible. Let's go to single-family homes in 2025.
So the most expensive single-family home that closed in 2025 in the city was a home in River North that closed for $7.165 million.
And it, too, had over 10,000 square feet, both interior and exterior spaces. It was a 5-level home with elevator access to every single level.
I was surprised that the most expensive single-family home was that far west and not closer to the lake.
I know. I think the same thing, but I think sometimes we forget that little nook in River North that is like Mansion Row, they call it, on like Superior, Huron over in that side, which just has tree-lined streets and an incredible neighborhood, and you're just sort of like tucked away from the rest of the city. So it's a special little part of the city that we miss.
If I'm buying the most expensive home in the city, I am going to live
On the lake?
I mean, I'm not such a lake person,
Yes.
but if I have that kind of money, I'm going to be close to the lake.
I don't blame you, but it's just they've done such incredible, immaculate interior. There's so much thought in it that I feel like I would never leave my house, which is a bigger issue.
Well, you and I both being homebodies.
It would be perfect.
Yeah.
But let's talk about what I thought was most interesting, even though this wasn't where our conversation was going initially, is 2 units that are active right now that are in that same price range. There's one on Dearborn. It's listed since last spring, so 2025, for $18.5 million in the Gold Coast.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there's another one on Goethe, which, love that street also. So I get it. That's on the private network for 16 million. So this is certainly setting the standard in that,
I mean,
1 to 10 Chicago ratio
Is Chicago the next New York? I don't think so.
I don't think so. But we can play the game.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Can we talk about that street name? Goethe, which I, for many years, called Goeth.
Yeah, Goethe.
Goethe.
Yeah. I don't know how I know that.
How and why?
I don't know. We could do another episode on the history of Chicago streets.
Good call. Moving on to the most expensive suburbs in Chicago. So the 3 most expensive suburbs in the North Shore, definitely not surprising. Number 1 was Winnetka with a median sales price of $2.1 million.
Kenilworth was $1.875 million. And then really slightly behind it was Glencoe at $1.637.
Yes.
We were not surprised.
Not surprised at all.
Right.
The most expensive and the highest sale was in Winnetka for $32.5 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
One thing we talked about that Haley and I said on the side is I've actually been in this house and they have a vineyard on the lake.
Oh my gosh.
Along with every other possible thing that you could imagine.
Does good wine even grow in Chicago?
I don't remember. I don't think that was a part of the conversation, but you feel like you are in a retreat or in a resort, just tucked away.
How do I become friends with them?
I also remember not being able to find the house because there was hidden streets to get there. Yeah, so you have to find out who the new buyers are because it's sold.
All right, moving on to the western suburbs. Drumroll was...
Well, we knew it would be Hinsdale.
Hinsdale.
Right, Hinsdale.
Yes, which, after our research, has grown 34% since 2021.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch how the numbers, where you see on the stats how the numbers just drove from year to year. But not far off, one of the most expensive homes that closed in the last 5 years was actually in Naperville. So it's just a very close suburb of Hinsdale if you don't know the neighborhood that well. That one closed for over $8 million.
$8,767,000.
Yes.
Becky, would you ever move to the suburbs?
I've lived in the suburbs. I am definitely staying in the city, but I think going through these facts just shows us that the luxury market is still very much alive and evolving. There are mega estates that are trending in the suburbs, but I will take my city living, and it's very luxurious, and it's still happening.
All right, that is a wrap on the most expensive neighborhoods and sales in the last 10 years.
Oh, thanks for having me.
All right, now back to our would you rather question. Let me read it again. So, would you rather always feel like you're wearing wet socks or always feel like you have popcorn kernels stuck to your teeth?
These are both terrible, but I will go with wet socks.
Are you serious?
I couldn't imagine constantly looking people in the eye and having popcorn in my teeth.
Wet socks are the worst thing ever. Nothing is worse than wearing wet socks. I actually said this yesterday because a little bit of snow got in my boot. And I said, this is my worst nightmare to have a little bit of water on my sock.
I don't want food in my teeth.
Okay. We do not agree on this. I will take a mouthful of kernels every day for the rest of my life over wearing wet socks.
No. I'll take the socks.
Okay.
These are so silly.
Thanks for tuning in to Ladies Who List. We hope you're walking away with some real insight and a little more confidence for your next real estate move. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with anyone who is curious about the world of real estate. If you have any questions or topics you want us to cover, we'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep it real, keep it smart, and we'll catch you on the next episode.